Alright guys, so Tyron Woodley and Vicente Luque, this fight is the co-main event for UFC 260, Miocic vs Ngannou 2. I'm gonna say it right now, Tyron Woodley, the 9th best welterweight fighter in the world, a former welterweight champion who defended his belt like 3 or 4 times, is currently on a 3-fight losing streak to Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, and Colby Covington, all fights in 5-round fights, and he lost all of them by unanimous decision. He is a pretty big underdog in the fight at plus 200 as a moderate underdog to win the fight. He's 38. Almost 39 years old, 5 foot 9 inches tall, has a reach of 79 inches. Vicente Luque, the 8th best welterweight fighter in the world, 19 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. Coming off of 2 straight wins, one by knockout against Randy Brown, and the other also pretty much sorted by knockout due to an eye injury from Nico Price. He's a minus 260, moderate favorite to win the fight. Almost a 3-1 favorite over Tyron Woodley. He's 29 years old, in the prime of his professional career. A humongous age advantage there for Vicente Luque in the fight. He's 5'11 inches tall. A humongous height advantage for Vicente Luque in the fight. And he also has a reach of 76 inches. Which yet again is another advantage for Vicente Luque. So he has a humongous age advantage, a 2-inch height advantage, and a 2-inch reach advantage over Tyron Woodley. Absolutely insane. And then if you look at the tabloid predictions, out of 1,248 different votes, 78% of the vote going for Luque to win the fight, mainly by KO and TKO. And then a lot of people have him win the fight by unanimous decision. 22% of the vote going for Tyron Woodley to win the fight, mainly by decision. Then a lot of people have Tyron Woodley getting a finish in the fight. In my opinion, maybe 30 to 40% chance that we see a knockout or a TKO from either fighter in the fight. But in my opinion, I think the fight's going to go all the way. And I think Tyron Woodley or Vicente Luque is going to win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Tyron Woodley, 19 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. Started his career back in 2009 with a lot of wins in a row. He got a win over Paul Daly and Jordan Main. Lost to Nate Marquette, got a first knockout win. Lost one fight to Jake Shields by split decision. Got a first round knockout win inside the UFC against Josh Koscheck. A second round knockout win over Carlos Condit. Lost one fight to Rory McDonald by unanimous decision. And then after that loss to Rory McDonald, he went absolutely insane. First round knockout win over Dong Yong Kim. A decision win over Kelvin Gastelum, who was an undefeated fighter at the time. Got a shot at the belt against Robbie Lawler. Won the fight by first round knockout, making him the welterweight champion of the world. Got a draw against Stephen Thompson. Then beat Stephen Thompson by unanimous decision. Beat Damian Maia. Beat Darren Till. And then, as you guys know, in 2019, fought Kamaru Usman, one of the best welterweight fighters of all time, and lost the fight by unanimous decision. After that fight with Kamaru Usman, ended up fighting Gilbert Burns in a main event fight, lost that fight, fought Colby Covington in a main event fight, and lost that fight as well. I made a mistake at the beginning of the video, saying that he lost all 3 of these fights by unanimous decision. But in the 5th round, he did get a rib injury. He was like, my rib! And had to pull out of the fight. Not really sure what happened there, but it was a pretty much domination from Colby Covington in the fight. Gilbert Burns also pretty much dominated him in the fight. Kamaru Usman also dominated him in the fight. So 3 dominant decision wins against Tyron Woodley. And then we have Vicente Luque, 19 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. So he started his career in 2009, got 2 wins, got 1 loss, got a draw, got another loss, got 2 wins, one of which against Thiago Santos, literally a top 5 light heavyweight fighter in the world, and he ended up beating him. That was his first ever professional loss. Absolutely insane. Lost 1 fight right here, got 2 wins, lost 1. Got 1 win right here. Got a shot on the Ultimate Fighter Season 21. Got a 3rd round submission over Nathan Coy. Lost 1 fight to Hader Hassan by split decision. I mean, I watched that fight on the Ultimate Fighter. I honestly think he won the fight, but on the Ultimate Fighter 21 finale, fight Mike Graves and lost the fight by unanimous decision. Came back with a first round Anaconda choke submission win, a second round Dart choke submission win, a first round knockout, lost to Leon Edwards, a top 5 welterweight fighter in the world. Got a second round submission win over Nico Price, a first round knockout win over Chad LaPriest, a first round knockout win over Jalyn Turner, a 3rd round knockout win over Brian Barberina, a first round knockout win over Derek Krantz, and then a decision win over Mike Perry. I mean, literally, that is 6 wins in a row, and in the UFC at that time, he had a record of 4. His record inside the UFC at the time was 10 wins and only 1 loss to Leon Edwards. Absolutely insane. But after that, he fought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and lost the fight by unanimous decision. Came back with a 3rd round win over Nico Price and a 2nd round knockout win over Randy Brown. I mean, Gosh dang, these two's careers, I mean, they fought so many amazing fighters inside the UFC. Vicente Luque inside of the UFC has a record of 12 wins and only 2 losses to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Leon Edwards, both top 5 welterweight fighters in the world. I mean, absolutely insane. If you look at Vicente Luque, 11 knockout wins, 7 submission wins, and 2 decision wins. His losses, 2 submission losses, and 6 decision losses. If you look at Tyron Woodley, he has a lot of knockout wins on his record. He has 6 knockout wins, 6 submission wins, and 7 decision wins. Out of his losses, 4 decision losses and 2 knockout losses. I think this fight is mainly going to stay on the feet. Vicente Luque, maybe he wants to take the fight to the ground and go for one of those dark choke submission wins, which I believe he has 2 or 3 submissions going by dark choke submission for Vicente Luque. I think the fight's going to stay on the feet. I think Tyron Woodley, his career is kind of going like this. He got the belt. He beat Robbie Lawler. He beat Darren Till. He beat Damian Maia. He beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And then it just went like this. It went all the way to the bottom. As soon as he fought Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, and Gilbert Burns, I honestly, truly believe this is Tyron Woodley's last professional fight as a professional fighter. I mean, I think Vicente Luque is going to retire Tyron Woodley in the fight. I think he's going to go out there and dominate him on the feet. I mean, 12-2 inside the UFC with his only losses coming to amazing strikers like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Leon Edwards. I mean, he's an absolute beast. I'm 100% going for Vicente Luque to keep the fight on the feet and win the fight by 29-28. Unanimous decision. I mean, who knows? Tyron Woodley could go out there and get a knockout win over Vicente Luque, but overall, I'm going Vicente Luque to win this fight by 29-28. Unanimous decision.